Alright guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're here to do my top 12 favorite games on the Oculus Quest platform for 2024, the big list of the year. So many games to talk about this year, and you can see some of the highlights right now that unfortunately just missed the list for one reason or another, because there were so many great games this year, and it was really hard to narrow down my top 12. I could have easily done more on this list, but I wanted to highlight, the ones that were my very favorite of the year and really think about this list of where I wanted things to go. And I think some of them are going to surprise you guys. I think this list is not, your typical list that a lot of people put their games on, because I like a variety of different things in the Quest platform, and I think you guys have seen that on this channel with all the different games that I like. If you guys want to support me and the channel, the links in the description for my affiliate links for all of these games will be down below. And I hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech, going for a brekkie is the gaming tech, gaming techie is the gaming tech, gaming techie.
Alright guys, so the first one here coming in at number 12 is Stranger Things VR. I am a huge Stranger Things fan. That's what got me to start watching Netflix and subscribing to it way back in the day, which I'm sure a lot of us are probably on that same boat. And playing a game that makes me feel like I'm in the Stranger Things world and playing as Vecna himself is a really cool experience. And even though this is not like a full-out game more than it is like a walking story where you're kind of doing certain things at the same time, I am perfectly okay with that. I like all types of things. If it's a walking type game where you're just doing a couple of different things to kind of advance the story, but I'm still in this world, it's still an amazing experience being in that world and seeing the Stranger Things characters, seeing how all of it interacts. I love the stylized graphics of this game. There's not many games like this, and like I said, being involved in that world is obviously what sets this game apart, especially as how big of a Stranger Things fan I am. So I'm really happy with this game, and I love the way it turned out. Stranger Things VR comes in at number 12. The next one here coming in at number 11 is Contractors Showdown. So I've always been a huge fan of Contractors. When I first started playing the original one, which is like the team deathmatch and deathmatch mode and all that stuff, the original Contractors. And then they came out with Contractor Showdown, which is like the battle royale version of that, where you and up to 60 players can be in there and trying to be the last one standing. And I love the fast-paced nature of this game. That's what sets it apart from all the other ones out there. And it kind of feels like Call of Duty to me, which I love Call of Duty in the 2D space. And then they also just added a recent mode to it in beta called X-File Zone, which is basically an extraction mode where you're trying to, get as much loot as possible and extract without getting killed. So, again, with that same type of gameplay where you're playing that fast-paced Call of Duty type nature, but being in that world. And that is what really made this push onto this list. The X-File Zone mode that's in here is really fun. Extracting and stuff like that really gives you that tension that mode always has. The battle royale mode is fun as well, as it always has been. So this game is great. It's amazing. If you guys are fans of the fast-paced FPS kind of nature games, this is the game that I recommend, and I'm having a blast with this one all the time that I'm playing it. Contractors Showdown coming in at number 11. The next one here coming in at number 10 is Max Mustard. This is a game that really speaks to me because I love platformers in VR, things like Astrobot and stuff like that came out. And even though this game isn't as good as one of my favorite games of all time as Astrobot, which is going to be hard for anybody to do on the PlayStation VR 1, that doesn't change the fact that this is a fantastic platformer and the best platformer that I've played on the Quest platform in a very long time. It's really good. All the levels, there's over 40 levels in the game, and they're all inventive with their own different ideas and their own things that are going on, and every level has like a unique idea that you're trying to do, and it's just a fantastic game. If you're a fan of platformers, definitely don't miss this one if it kind of came out at a time that you weren't paying attention like I did, where I only played it like a month later. But it is super fun. Glad to have a platformer on the Quest make a list like this, especially this high, which is obviously awesome. Max Mustard coming in at number 10. The next one here coming in at number 9 is Spatial Ops. I'm really happy that we can finally start talking about mixed reality and actually have them in our top list. And this won't be the only mixed reality game on this list, because they're getting that good and they're that much fun. I love mixed reality games, and this one is fantastic. It has a campaign mode. I just did a full review on this game because I played this a little late, and the campaign really makes you feel like you're in a time crisis type gameplay, being surrounded in your room, all these crazy things going on surrounding your room, things coming into your room from these different portals that are opening up all over everywhere. But then they took it a step further, and that's what really cemented it on this list, and that is the arena mode, the creativity in this game that you can have creating your own maps in your own home, in your backyard, in large gym spaces, whatever the case may be, and make an arena and then fight your friends either that are there with you in co-location multiplayer or whatever the case may be, and it feels like you're taking all these enemies down and stuff like that. You can even play it single player if you want to try it out and you don't have friends there with you to play this arena mode. You can do deathmatch, team deathmatch, capture the flag, and create all these different maps. It's on a whole nother level. Spatial Ops is outstanding both in campaign and multiplayer in the arena mode. Spatial Ops at number 9. The next one here coming in at number 8 is Shattered. This is another mixed reality game making it on the list. And this one is outstanding. If you guys are fans of escape rooms, I love escape rooms. I love going with family and friends. And I've always been waiting for a really good escape room that's done in mixed reality and uses my home environment. And it's horror-based, one of my favorite things to do in VR to begin with. And it is exactly how awesome it freaking sounds. It's awesome to be able to solve these puzzles using your actual home environment, going throughout these different levels, figuring out this horror story. And man, does this game sometimes scare you? That's for sure. It's freaking awesome. I mean, playing a horror game that takes advantage of your actual house and uses different things in your house like doors, windows, and things popping out at you and solving these puzzles. It's like nothing else I've ever seen in mixed reality when it comes to a horror game and using mixed reality. It is literally outstanding. What they did with this game. There's things done in this game that haven't been done before in mixed reality, and they knocked it out of the park in my opinion. That is Shattered, coming in at number 8. The next one on this list, coming in at number 7, is another mixed reality game, and I am not mad about any of this. This is Party Quest. And when I first played this game, my mind was blown. You guys can see my review. Basically, this is a multiplayer party game in the events of like Mario Party and stuff where you're playing different mini games. But the room that you're in finally gets scanned and used in a game. So all that time that we scanned all this furniture is now really being put to use for the very first time, as much as it does in this game. And then you can actually see the other players' rooms, your other friends, your other players in the room, and you can see their rooms, and you're playing all these different mini games like hot potato and stuff like that, throwing it across their room, matching different items, playing the spike game. There's so many unique creative games in here that are actually super fun to play. But what really sets us apart is I have not seen anything like this in mixed reality, where you actually get to see other players' homes and feel like you're standing there with them, and it kind of feels like they're just an extension in your house. It's super amazing, super cool. For $10, don't miss it. Partyverse is at number 7. The next one here coming in at number 6 is Trombone Champ Unflattened. Flat to VR Studios is a studio that I've always been keeping an eye on because they're bringing 2D games over to VR that should be made for VR, and they're doing a fantastic job. And this is their first game that was brought over to the Quest, and man, did they knock it out of the park. You guys know I love my music rhythm games. You're using a trombone, playing these different songs and stuff like that with the trombone. There's over 50 tracks in the game. They've added holiday hits here recently for free to the game. And the gameplay is so addictive, but it's also hilarious to play. While you actually are playing the trombone, you actually get to unlock other trombones that make unique sounds that all have their own special sounds, like the cat one that you get to unlock and stuff like that. That really adds to the hilarious nature of this game. This game does not take itself too seriously. It lets you customize all your trombones, different sounds, different unlockables that you can get throughout the game that keep you coming back. But over 50 tracks in the game, and actually a lot of them we actually know. We recognize these symphonies that they're doing in this game, and it's super fun to play. They did a fantastic job with this game. It's one of my favorite music rhythm games of the year. Trombone Champ Unflattened, coming in at number 6. The next one here coming in at number 5 is Mestro, and this one really caught me by surprise because this game has been out for a while, and I didn't play it because I was like, I don't really like anything about, orchestra. I'm not going to really like orchestra music and stuff like that. And I kind of put it off. And then they came out with the DLC that really spoke to me about doing the Harry Potter theme. And then they have a Mickey Symphony from Disney and stuff like that. And I was like, wow, they have two of my favorite things, and they're putting it into this game. Now I have to check it out. And lo and behold, I was wrong all along. Not only are those two songs fantastic, which is what pushed it over the edge to being on this list, but all the other songs in the games are also amazing, and they're super fun to play. And I actually know most of them, which is surprising because you hear them and you're like, wow, I actually know that from a movie or from something that we've heard of from a while. But then they took it a step further, and the presentation of this game is insane. This music rhythm game, and the gameplay is fantastic. The way that you're, adjusting the choir and stuff, it's super awesome. Mestro coming in at number 5. The next one here coming in at number 4 is Starship Home. Yes, this is the last time I get to say this, but man, another mixed reality game that really took me by surprise on this list. Starship Home is you traveling the stars, you caring for alien plants, and that may not sound interesting right off the bat, but when you play this in mixed reality and you see what this game is doing to your home, and the fact that this game was fully built for mixed reality from the ground up, it really does feel like you're in space, like you're on an alien spaceship, you're traveling around the alien planets, you're controlling the spaceship that you're in and traveling to all these areas. The colorization, the way that these aliens kind of come around your room and stuff like that is super awesome. Taking care of these plants, watering the plants, and just seeing all the different windows and portals into this alien world really feels like you've been transported somewhere, but also still in your home at the same time. It's super fun, super engaging, and it actually has, you know, a lot of gameplay to it. Like I said, it's been fully developed for mixed reality, so it's not like a quick demo experience or a quick thing. It has hours of gameplay in here, and the journey is amazing, and you will see some things in here that you just... It's a sight to behold, like you see here in the trailer. It's super awesome. Starship Home coming in at number 4. The next one here at number 3 is Skydance's Behemoth. This is an action-adventure game that a lot of people have been waiting for in VR. Hours and hours of gameplay where you get to go through and, you know, have this gigantic story-based game, and you're going through, talking to all the NPCs, going through the story, fighting all the enemies. The combat is fantastic. I love, obviously, how it's a full-developed VR game. The encounters that you're going to have in this game with the big boss battles, as you're seeing here, are amazing, and they really make you feel like you're fighting gigantic bosses. It's amazing. Skydance Behemoth coming in at number 3. The next one here coming in at number 2 is Metro Awakening. I love the Metro series, when it obviously all the ones that have come out on PC and have been playing those for years, and the fact that we finally got a full-on Metro game from Vertigo Games in VR is outstanding. We would have never thought this was possible back then, that Metro was actually going to have an exclusive VR game. And not only that, but they knocked it out of the park. It really makes you feel like you're in the Metro series. It feels just like you're playing a real Metro game in VR. And man, does it take advantage of VR super well. All the horror elements and all that stuff that Metro is known for is all here, being creepy as you turn each corner. The fantastic gunplay is all here. The enemies that you're all used to from the Metro series are all here. The story is really fun to go through. They knocked it out of the park with this one. I love single player, first-person shooter, horror first-person shooters, exactly, because there's not a lot of those horror first-person shooter games out there that are done this well, and it's super, super fun. I'm having a great time with this game, and Vertigo Games killed it on this one. Metro Awakening coming in at number 2. And the number 1 game of the year for me was very easily Batman Arkham Shadow. This was not even a question that this one was going to be the number 1 game on my list. First of all, again, I love the Batman series. It's one of my favorite games of all time when it comes to the original Arkham games that are on PC. And again, when I first heard of this game, I was like, how are they going to bring this game on the Quest? Is it going to be good enough? Is it going to have that same combat feel, or are they going to have to do something weird to make it work for VR? And all of those questions were put to rest. Not only is this one of the best looking games on the Quest now, and it really does make you feel like Batman when you're in here. It really makes you feel a part of the Arkham series, just like you remember playing it. But the combat feels just as good to play in here as it does in the 2D game, except you're in first person. But the graphics and what they did in here is outstanding, especially for it being on the Quest. They really took advantage of every single thing that they could on here, and the story is really fun to go through, and you know, you get to meet characters that you're familiar with in the Batman games, and the city that you're all used to in the Batman games is all here and really well developed, and it's just an outstanding game. If you've ever wanted to become Batman and feel like Batman and feel a part of the Arkham world, you got it right here. This game is fantastic, and it will do all of that for you. Obviously, it's great that this game is now being given away for free right now currently when you buy the Quest, and it's an outstanding value. It's such a good game, and it's worth every penny. Even if you had to pay $50, I don't care. If you already have a Quest, purchase it, because it is that good, especially if you're a fan of these types of games. I'm having a blast with this game. Batman Arkham Shadow, easily my number 1 game of the year. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that list of my top 12 favorite games of the year on the Oculus Quest platform. There were so many other good games that just missed the list here. As you can see right here, some of them are being shown on the screen for you right now. There are so many games to choose from this year. There's so many great games on the Quest platform, which is a great problem to have. You guys have seen all the different lists that I've made this year because there's that many games that I want to highlight, because There's so much fun to be had on the Quest platform right now. For those of you guys just getting in, make sure you stay tuned to all the different lists that I have, because there is a lot of great games that were not mentioned on this list because there's just not enough room for my top 12 to fit all of the games. I could have easily done a top 20 or top 25, but I wanted to keep it small and really hone down on what my favorite games of the year were. But as you can see in these little short snippets that you're seeing, there was a lot more games this year that I also really liked. And thank you guys for watching.